My name is Christianson. I grew up in the Yukon. I was primarily raised by my grandmother and my mother, and I lived on my grandmother's Peace River farm in Alberta for a bunch of years. I am Cree Métis on my maternal side, and most of my Métis relations are all living in Treaty 6, Treaty 7. So there's a few of us living in BC and around across the country, but most of my Métis family is prairie provinces. And my connection with MNBC is I'm living out here and I wanted to be more connected to the Métis community that's close to my home. I reached out wanting to be more connected and thinking that a good way to do that would be to serve the community. I'm a self-taught painter. And I thought I would paint for 5 years and just see how that went. And if I made some progress, I would stick with it. So that's how I got to be a working artist. I worked along that vein for quite some time. And then I actually got a little bit sick from the paint, from acrylic paint and the fumes working in my studio space. I took a bit of time off to recover my health. And then after that, I was like, what am I gonna do? What am I going to do? I loved being a painter. I loved working in my studio. So I thought about working digitally because it's, there's just a little more freedom involved. Digital art is so applicable if you're an activist. You can make a book, you can make a print, you can put art in a newspaper, you can put art in a magazine, you can make a poster. It's just very malleable and applicable to many different applications. I think I run into a lot of people that really don't know much about Métis culture and don't know who Métis people are. I wanted to use portraiture to shine a light on elders, activists, and artists essentially in the Métis community. So that's where the idea came from. I was given a gentle but encouraging nudge from Brittany Bertrand to apply for the Nakaatchihtow grant, which I did. And she was like, this might be a nice fit for your portraits, because I'd been talking to her about portraiture and how we could use portraiture to basically serve the community and serve the nation. So when that grant came along, she thought it could be a nice fit, and she is the one that connected me to it. I really wanted to make sure that the portraits spoke to the greater aspect of people, their interests, their hobbies, their spiritual beliefs, where they're from, what they believe in. I wanted to be more indicative of who they really were. So part of what made the whole process of creating those portraits so special was getting to learn all these sometimes very intimate details about people, about their journey to reclaiming their identity, or places they grew up, things they did as kids, things they love to do now. It was a really heartwarming process learning about all these really inspiring people from the Métis Nation. You're basically just connecting so deeply with these people through imagery. So I was cultivating real feelings of affection and kind of love, creating these images. It was this whole one-sided affair for me, just as the creator. Once the images were done, I would send them off to the participants for their approval, and then they would get to respond to the images. It was just really heartwarming and inspiring. Some of the responses were that people felt really seen and honored and appreciated, and that was all really meaningful for me. It was quite an honor to get to create those portraits. The most beloved elder to me was my grandmother. She was just a dear of a woman, and I spent an inordinate amount of time with her. So she really had a hand in raising me. She was very connected to the land. We spent a lot of time outside. We spent a lot of time reading together. So my grandmother was first and foremost the most influential elder on my life. And then for this project in particular, I worked with Elder Denise McQuaig, I worked with Elder Marie Bercier and Elder Tom McCallum. And they all helped me and guided me in different ways for this project and guided me beautifully. So that is another really special aspect to the Nakaatchihtow grant for me, is being able to connect with these elders and get to know them and get some teachings and get shown the way a little bit. I am so grateful. What an opportunity for me. It might be the greatest opportunity of my life, actually, to be able to have a project of this magnitude funded. And the Nakaatchihtow grant itself, whoever designed that grant really had artists in mind, because there was a lot of freedom baked into that grant. I was able to really do exactly what I wanted, and that was very helpful. I got to create a book, I got to create an exhibit, I got to connect with all these people from the Métis Nation, I got to learn about Métis culture. I'm so much stronger and more confident in who I am as a Métis person because of that grant. I feel connected to the community. I'm so inspired. All I want to do is learn about and preserve Métis culture, literally. You know, it's one of my main life goals now, and part of that is from that grant. I'm just very humbled and very grateful.